I've talked in the past about how my father was an example for me as I worked my way into taking care of my health better in my late 40s and early 50s, and now that I'm aging into my elderhood. And I've also mentioned before that a lot of the time he was a negative example. Here's something that's a little bit more ambiguous. It's not positive or negative, it's just there. When my younger brother and I were cleaning out his home a couple months before he died, but knowing that he was never going to get better enough to go back there on his own, I came across the paperwork that told the real story of why he was forced to take a year off after his junior year of college. Now, there had been various stories about this over the years, things that he was not proud of, things that he was very proud of, but I don't think he had ever shared this with any of us. He had been so caught up in extracurricular activities that he failed all his classes. And the college said, "You got to grow up. You can't do this. We're making you take at least a year off, and you better show some signs of growth." Now, both of my parents were very hard workers. From my mother, I get a capacity for organization and discipline. From my father, I get the ability to be passionate about things. But one reason I don't trust passion or motivation is that I saw how hard he worked only when it was something he was passionate about. With 21st century terminology at our fingertips, it's clear that he had a pretty serious case of ADD, and that in particular, he struggled with executive function for all of his life. Executive function is that ability to not only make lists, but to do what's on those lists. My father wouldn't do anything that he didn't want to. If he didn't feel, quote unquote, motivated, he just wouldn't do it. Now, meanwhile, his achievements speak for themselves, and I can point you at loads of people who learned a lot from him, including me. But he also seemed profoundly lazy a lot of the time. And so do I. So when I understood in my late 40s that I was beginning to take after him in this specific way, that I was letting my reasons not to take care of myself affect me more negatively than my body could handle, I found a way to apply more of my mother's style, which, believe me, she had tried to help me with years and years before, and which he had tried to sort of encourage me into by punishing me for not doing it. He knew what was at stake. He knew his own mistakes. He may not have shared them openly with me, but he understood the cost of not sticking to business. The last thing I will ever tell anybody is that it's easy. It was not easy for him. He could never be pushed to do things that he didn't want to. The most you could ever do was piss him off and raise his hackles. And he paid the highest price out of any of us for that side of himself, because there were a lot of things he could have done to get stronger and to stay active in his 70s, and he chose not to, despite pleading for me, my siblings, colleagues, former students, all kinds of people. He never found a way to do it. And again, I'm here to tell you, being neurodivergent like that ain't easy. Those who don't understand, that's fine. They're not gonna understand. It's hard sometimes. But one of the best lessons he taught me in his final years was that I had to find some way not to go down that same path. And I'll be on your side every bit as much as I was on his. I won't lie to you that it's easy, and I won't lie to you that you can shirk the things that you ought to be doing, whatever those are. I'm not an expert on your life. I've just seen a few things. Enough to make me aware that we got to find that middle ground somehow, if we can. I encourage you, keep with it. Again, as I often say, you're worth it. So is he, so am I. Hey fam, if you've made it this far in the video, first of all, thank you. Second of all, if this video or any of my others have entertained you, made you smile, taught you something, given you some support on your own journey for mental or physical health and fitness, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if that's too much of a commitment right now, please at least give it a thumbs up. You'd be amazed how much that does for the engagement on a YouTube channel like mine. As I film this, I'm closing in on making my 100th clip. And old-timers on YouTube will tell you that that's probably the minimum you need to get noticed by the algorithm. So I'm hoping as I get to that point and as I close in on 6 months to a year of making these, that the algorithm will start to prioritize me higher. And your thumbs up or a comment or a subscription will bolster that process. I don't object to making money at this, but right now I'm not sponsored. I'm not charging anything. I'm really doing this as a labor of love because of how much benefit I've gotten from this myself. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your attention. Go kick some butt, including your own, in a good way. Love ya.